So welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Jackson Jackabeat. This is music production guide. This is a lecture to teach you how you can mix your local instrument. So I'm using Odja as an instrument to illustrate how you can mix Odja and get a perfect sound. So what is Odja? Odja is a local instrument that most of the African countries use, on their cultural music and on some of the traditional music. It is a mouth instrument that, whereby you can blow an air inside a carved wood, and it makes out sound. Some people do call that instrument a spiritual instrument because they believe that the instrument calls some spirits into themselves. They use it to invoke some spirits and all of that. That's some beliefs. But I will not be going into the histories of Odja. I'm just right here to train you guys how you can achieve a perfect mix of Odja. So if you are our returning subscribers, I welcome you back again and I thank you for being part of this community. And if this is the first time you're coming across this video or this channel, I welcome you. This is a very wonderful family. We are here to help ourselves to learn and learn more. So I do appreciate and welcome your comment. All the suggestions you guys have suggested in this channel has helped this channel a lot, and I'll keep doing more and more and bringing a great content as you guys wanted. In case if you're coming across this channel for the first time, please consider clicking the subscription button. Click the notification button so that you'll be the first to receive notification once I upload a new brand video, because I do upload videos every Mondays and every Fridays. So without wasting time, let's drive straight into the tutorial for today. So let me play the Odja to refresh your guys' memory, then I guide you through how I was able to mix this particular Odja. So this is Cubase 12. I'm using Cubase 12. Is the latest in Cubase company, and that's what I'll be using to lecture this. In case you needed this Cubase 12, write in the comment section and tell me, so I'll guide you how you can access it. I'll be turning off all the parameters I use on the group track and on the individual track for us to hear the natural feel of this Odja before we start inserting our compressors and our EQ. So listen the raw instrument of this Odja. So that's the raw recording of the Odja. Please, so before I start this tutorial, I want to drop a particular tip that is going to be of help to you guys. In case you are recording any live instrument and you needed to achieve a very powerful recording, make sure that you learn not to come closer to the mic when recording something like this Odja, particularly because this Odja has a strong force of sound that anywhere it is being blown, someone very far or some kilometers away will hear the sound. It doesn't need to come closer to the mic because it will create more room for distortion and you might not be needing it in your mix. So make sure you position your mic in such a way that it will not be closer. So what I did in this particular Odja was to first of all do my EQ in this my lead vocals. So I cut off the low frequencies to about 259 kilohertz and cut my low end and some few of my high end to about 1k. So this is what I did on this particular EQ, and let us play and see how it sounds on this EQ and play how it sounds without the EQ. So listen how it sounds with the EQ. So let's see how it sounds without the EQ. So I'll on it and turn it on, you see the difference. You see, it sounds so smooth. The low end has been removed. Some spots at mid frequency and high frequency we are termed low. That is for our EQ. So the next I added on that individual track was my noise suppressor. You and I know that I always like using this noise suppressor because there's a probability that some noise might come, you know, as a result of recording the sound from the mouth or from the surrounding or thereabouts. So we needed to reduce some amount of noise that comes inside the recording. So that's why I use this, and like you can actually adjust it on range of 10 to about 15. So let's play and see what the noise suppressor did on that Odja sound. So let's off it. So let's on it. If you notice, you see that there's a slight noise that we have reduced if you listen closely with your earphone. So that is for the noise suppressor. Then the next thing I did was to remove sound, the C sound, by using my Dslr. This is a Dslr that comes with Cubase. So I use this particular Dslr on the preset Male S to reduce this C sound that comes on the 2K to about 5K. So that is what I did. So let's just play. You see that most of the C sound that comes at the high region of the frequency we are reduced. So listen. So that is all for the Dslr. This is all I did on the individual track of this Odja. So let's go straight to our group track. So I inserted another EQ on that group track. I discovered that at the high end, around the region of 1000 to about 2000, there's a very strong frequency that is clipping on the ear at this region, and which doesn't make it sit right. So but I didn't want to reduce it on the individual track, so I decided to reduce it on the group track so that I would to have more effect when my tube compressor set inside group track. So that was why I was able to reduce it to about 1.3K. So listen is here. Let me turn it off. So let me turn it on. So we are able to achieve this because this region from 500 to about 2005 is a very strong region that you don't have to play with. So we are done with this EQ on this junction. So the next thing I did was to insert my tube compressor. So let's play. You see what the tube compressor did on this Odja sound. You know, this is a very powerful compressor that comes with Cubase, and I urge you guys to try to get Cubase 12. This tube compressor is a very strong compressor though, so but the techniques I used here was to make sure that it doesn't go above 20 dB. It doesn't have to clip all the way to 6. You know, as you're watching this meter, let it not exceed this 6 dB. Let it be from 0 to about 3, 4, 5, but let it not touch this 6. So that's what it be. So the more you are turning all the way to your right, the more it is being, you know, compressed. So the more you are turning all the way to your left, you're achieving what you need. So I just have to place it on 20, and that is all for now. I didn't want to touch on the attack or release and all of that. I just want to keep it this way. Then the next thing I did was to go to my tube instrument, to my tube. You already know my tube instrument. I like using warm distortion, so I go straight to my Cubase. I added warm distortion. One thing about this Cubase 12 is that it has a very strong preset that makes your work more lighting and more stress free. So this warm distortion makes the sound look so warm without even engaging any harsh sound on the ear. So that's for that tube I use. The way you use a time-based effect aside this EQ and compressor that I train you now matters a lot. It matters a lot. How do you position your reverb? How do you do your double delay is something that you have to take note of. Now, if actually you want to start to record Odja, there's something you have to take note of. Always remember the tempo of that Odja that you are recording. Remember the tempo of it. Then when you are setting up your reverb, then you make sure that you do a reverb calculation to know the delay time, to know the decay time, the pre-delay time, and the mix amount percentage. So these are the things that you have to take note of. A lot of people are complaining that after mixing their Odja sound or their local instrument, that they discover that the reverb, the echo is too much, that it's sounding somehow. So but once you use these tricks, it makes your work more easier and more professional. So this is a very strong tips that you have to know. In case you don't know how to calculate the reverb time, I did a video on how you can calculate your reverb time and your delay. So check down in one of those videos down in this channel, then you will learn how you can calculate your reverb time and your double delay time. So for this particular stuff, I'll be using my far filter reverb. I so much love this particular reverb. The parameters I'll be more interested in is gonna be my space, my decay time, my stereo wider, and my mix. And for the sake of this particular training, my tempo was on 128, so I make sure I divide this by 128 to get the perfect stuff, then divide it by 2. So I was able to get on the calculator. So I was able to get a calculator 2, 3, 4. That was what I was able to get. So on this space, I was able to put. So I'm gonna put about 234 millisecond. 234 millisecond. That is 2.34 millisecond. That is for it. Then once you divide it again by 2, you have 117 decay time. So that's how I was able to get my decay rate. And still divide again by 2, you have your stereo wider. Still divide again, you have your mix. Then let's play. You see the sound. Remember, 2 things will be done. I inserted my reverb on the group track and still send it out. So 2 reverb working inside the group track. So now this particular one I inserted, let's play and see the effect it has on that local instrument Odja. So let's off it and see how it sounds. That is without the reverb. Then let's play with the reverb. You see it is a very strong tip that you got to take note of. Then after I'm done with that, then I go and do an FS track and send it straight to the group track, which that is what I'm going to train you now. You insert it the same way you were able to add auto stops. You create your FS track and insert these figures the way I inserted it on the other reverb. You insert it on your FS track. Then once you are done, then you now divide to know the amount. Divide by 2. Let's know the amount of our send. So let's know the amount of our send. So remember, it was 60,000 divided by 128 tempo divided by 2 divided by 2 divided by 2 divided by 2. That is where we got our mix. So we are looking at the send. The send amount percentage will be on 3, like 3 dB. So right here, you're gonna insert 3. You have your FS track, your reverb FS track well set in. So let's just play it. You see the effect on that. So let's off it, the FS send reverb, then play. You see how it sounds. How I'll be on it on and off, you see the difference. You see that the send reverb and the insert reverb working together makes this local instrument sound more beautiful, sound more energized and more presence. You know, it gives it that live presence. So the next you'll be adding is your delay, your double delay, and for this I used stereo delay that comes with Cubase. So what I actually did here was to my feedback to put it on 2%, put my delay to 1/2, the other one 1/4. The pan, I made the pan to go left and right to about -55 and the right to about 75. So I had needed to alter the pan, let it come from left to right, let there be some gaps, let some gaps be open, you know, to give it that excitement that is needed. When you blow Odja, it comes and drops, and the time it comes, let there be a transition, an effect transition that will happen before the other sound comes in. So that was why I was able to do that. You see, the send amount we used on the reverb was 3. So since we use 3 divided by 2, you have 1.5. So you'll be using -1.5. So that's how you get your double delay amount. So let's play. You see how it sounds with double delay. You see what is happening at that sound. You know, once the sound stops, you hear another delay that comes. So this is a very strong tips, and I believe that once you use these tips, you know, you can mix any local instrument of your choice and achieve a very perfect sound. So this is gonna end the challenge you have when you are mixing local instruments, you're complaining that the reverb is too much. Now we have given you a tips. If you haven't watched the tutorial I did on how to calculate reverb, please try to go down in the video and watch it. It's going to help you to understand this particular lecture today. So in case you have any question or any suggestion, opinion, or anything, please kindly write it down on the comment section. I'll be responding instantly. And please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing to this channel and turn on your notifications so that you'll be the first to receive notification once I upload a new brand video, because I do upload every Mondays and every Fridays, and they are so amazing. And I know that you won't want to miss these wonderful tutorials I'm dropping every week. So please consider clicking the subscription button like I said. I remain your favorite producer, Jacobit Jackson. Still blessed and see you next time.